My name is Andre Pujara. I'm a second-year PhD student at Scotland's Royal College and the University of Ghent. And today I'd like to talk to you about my PhD, where I'm investigating the effects of stress on sleep behavior in laying hens. But first, we need a bit of background on laying hens and their housing. Millions of animals all over the world are kept and reared for food, and over the past few decades there has been growing concern regarding the ways in which these animals are housed and managed. Prior to the mid-20th century, there was little legislation in Europe governing how farm animals are kept. However, with the advent of major EU policy changes, specifically the banning of conventional or battery cages by 2012, greater efforts have been made both on and off the farm to ensure greater quality of life for poultry. Now, many people would tell you that birds do not belong in cages, and therefore something like a free-range system is much better for the animals. Unfortunately, this is not a clear-cut solution, as studies have shown that birds kept in free-range systems have a much higher incidence of keelbone damage and a greater parasitic load than hens in cages, to name but a few of the problems that arise with this sort of housing. To answer the question, how can we improve the lives and welfare of animals that we keep and use for commercial purposes, we must look to the animals themselves to tell us whether the conditions they are experiencing are good, bad, or somewhere in the middle. And with the exception of foghorn leghorn, chickens can't outright tell us about their well-being, but we can rely on their behavior to infer their state of being. Now, I want to change gears just a little bit and talk about sleep. We all know how sensitive our sleep can be. Stresses from relationships, school, and work can all impact on a good night's sleep, resulting in tiredness and poor performance the next day. And so, if the quality of our own sleep reflects the stressors we experience in our daily lives, it is then very likely that the same could be said for other animals, including poultry. And this is where my work comes in. I am looking to determine whether sleep behavior and sleep characteristics can be used as an indicator of poor welfare and stress in commercially kept laying hens. The first step was to determine what regular sleep actually looks like in laying hens. This was achieved through a combination of measuring electrical impulses from the brain during sleep and the recording of nighttime behaviors using infrared cameras. It is only in combining these two approaches that we can get an accurate picture of what is actually going on inside a sleeping chicken. So from here, I applied a variety of stressors to disturb sleep, including wind, noise, and light at random times during the night in order to disturb sleep and observe the resulting behavioral effects. This was further expanded upon in a second experiment where three stressors that hens are likely to experience on a farm were applied, namely short-term food deprivation, increased ambient temperature, and foot pad pain. The hens were again observed for the effects that these stressors can have on their sleep behavior. And currently, I'm in the process of analyzing nearly 3,000 hours of behavioral footage and scoring just over 2 million EEG data points from my two experiments.